Hello, I'm Klaus. I want to show you some of the features of CARSO 3X. Here we have loaded a scan. It's not complete. The half of it is missing, but we can mirror to get the other half. And what I do is I put it on the screen like this. I go in XY projection, and in the modify command I select mirror on X, and I have this vertical line that is like a mirror. I put it where I want to have the symmetry, and I choose the left to be copied to the right side. So now we have a complete panel symmetrical. You can also mirror it in the other direction. I'll just give you an example. Mirror on Y. So if I put let's say we put it here. So now we have this shape, and imagine that I want to take this middle part. Now I think I'll just undo it, and then I'll repeat again. You have always the last command in the mouse. So if we do like this, so I want to create a pattern with this part here. And first I want to crop away everything outside. I use the crop command and use the mouse, and I select this region. I have to undo it, undo last. So do it again, modify crop to window. So now I have thrown away everything else. I want to clean up the background, and I can do that in different ways. One way is to use the mouse and paint, sort of painting the background flat. First I want to measure with the mouse the set height, and it's about 32 millimeter. Okay, so we set the background to 32 millimeter. So, and then we select modify, set to a constant value, and I use the right mouse button to make this circle smaller or bigger. And when I use the left mouse button and drag, then everything inside will be the same height. We just zoom in. So then I right click to get the last command, and then I flatten out the background. Now the background has been flattened out. There is some edges, and what you can do is that you can select modify, edit and set, and smooth, and then inside the circle like before you smooth the area. So I'll just do like this. So okay, so now we have this object that we can repeat. We can, for example, say modify, repeat. And then we can repeat it in X 5 times, for example. So, and now we have a molding that we can cut. In this example, I will project the panel on a cylinder, a big cylinder. First, I'll just mirror again. It's very quickly to do. So, and then the 0 point is in the corner here, and I'll move it to the center like this. So now we have the 0 point in the middle of the scan. And then I want to project it on a cylinder. Modify, project scan on a cylinder. Do it along x-axis, 3000 millimeter in diameter, convex. Okay. I go to 3D projection, and now I've projected the flat panel on a cylinder with a diameter of 3 meter. In this video, I'll demonstrate for you how to project G-code on top of a scan. In this case, we have scanned a split face stone and we want to project some letters on it. We open the projection of path wizard. We have opened the scan. We open the path. It's a G-code file, very simple. It's created by CARSO text, and you can log it. Now we open it and we show the projection in 2D, so we can move it to where we want to carve it on the surface. Looks like this. So you can also simulate what it will look like. It's not necessary, you can just continue to the post-processing, but if you want to simulate it, you have to select the same tool, size and shape in CARSO, in this case an engraving mill. And we choose a resolution in the simulation of 0.4 millimeter and start simulation. And here you see what it will look like if you mill it on the machine. Finally, you just post-process it. So, and you can edit the file if you want, and send it to your 3-axis CNC machine. In this example, I'll show you how to mill out the scan. First, I want to move the scan so I have the 0 in set in the top of the material, and I do this by modify, move, and put it in the corner. The first tool I'll use is a saw blade. And I'll select a saw blade of 250 millimeter in diameter and 5 millimeter wide. I select a rectangular area, that means it will mill out everything. I go to the milling area strategy. I select a step along the path of 2 millimeter. A cross path 15 millimeters, so we have 10 millimeters to break with a hammer. Along parallel to X is okay, no layers. And then we calculate the tool path. Here you see the tool path, it will move up in Z. The dotted line means rapid. We can simulate what it will look like. We go to simulation and select new. And in this case we select the fine quality simulation. Then we mill. Then we show the simulation. So you see the raw stock is the bounding size of the bounding box of the scan, and you see the blade has cut these ribs. In the simulation we can also simulate the hammering process. The next tool I'll use is a core drill. If you don't have a saw blade on your machine, you can also just use the core drill. It's a very good tool for rough cutting in stone. You can either use the core drill everywhere or only in specific points. I delete the area from the last time, and I want to select the core drill. In this case, a 30mm core drill, 25 inside. I select the polyline, and here you see the footprint of the core drill in XY projection, and I only cut where a drill where the saw blade can't reach, and that is in these areas. It's a very fast and efficient way to remove material. So then we calculate the tool path. And we can add this to the simulation and show it. The next tool will be a conical flat end tool, 25mm in the top, 10mm in the bottom. I'll choose a square area, and I'll make this area a little bit smaller. So, and the area will be parallel to X, and the step over 0.5 millimeter along the path and 1 millimeter across. And then we just calculate the tool path. We will add the tool path to the simulation mill. And show it. Now for the finishing, we'll just mill inside a circular area. And we'll use a step of 0.2 millimeter in both X and Y. The tool we'll choose is a conical ball end mill with a tip radius of 1.5 millimeter. You'll add the milling to the simulation. And show it.